So we're out here in a church and school, taking a look at this parking lot here, and just wanted to show you a few tips here, my recommendations, suggestions. So we're here in Palo Alto, and this is a parking area as you come in. This is the main entrance, and as you can see, I would describe this pavement as a pavement in needing a little bit of maintenance. It's been a little bit neglected. You can see the reason why I say that, it's because you can see here a few areas that need repairs. Like here, this condition is called alligator cracking, and the intensity of this is medium to a little bit more severe. You can see the cracks here are causing this to settle. So I would suggest that we repair it, like all this area, like from here, possibly from that hydrant or that water utility, like this, to this entrance. So this is roughly like so that's 10, 20 by 20 area. So this 20 by 20 area, this is what I would suggest in a work order, in a proposal, that we excavate and repave. Because the severity of this, it's deep already. That's what I would suggest. I would just excavate it, correct the base, add base rock or just grade it where needed, compact it, make sure it's compacted properly, 95%, and then after that, pave over it again. Had these alligator cracks been superficial or just surface, we could have just cold planed or grind down only the top 1.5 or 2 inches, and then overlay it. But because it seems it's starting to get deeper and deeper, the deeper these alligator cracks, it calls out for a full-on excavation. And because the settling and the unevenness, this is because water's seeping underneath and it's starting to cause instability underneath. So I would suggest that we excavate this, correct it from the root source, which is the base, correct it, compact it, grade it, eliminate all those uneven areas, and then pave it again. So this is what I would suggest for here. The rest out there, it looks in fair condition. From there on out, something that sealing, coating, crack filling would fix and repair all those blemishes, imperfections here. Sealing and coating would be a good route, and it will be the economic route, and it'll give you a little bit more years and lifespan out of this existing pavement without putting down a lot of money. Here you can see a little bit of root problems here starting to develop. We can excavate this area and then regrade it without cutting the roots. Or if the roots are superficial, then we can actually just rip out the roots, regrade the dirt, and then pave it back this area. That's a suggestion. But again, the more we bring in more equipment, more repairs, then it's going to increase the cost. Now, since we're going to start repairing this area and possibly this area, this becomes almost nothing. So this whole section seems to be something that is like this. Another area starting to get alligator cracked. These are the symptoms of this alligator cracking. And then I look over there behind the truck, and I see more alligator cracking, and damage is starting to get deeper and deeper. So this damage here is all the way to the base. You can see the base here, the soil or the base here starting to show all this pitting. It's not good. If we leave it like this, water starts to seep underneath and it starts to worsen. From that all the way to the gate, it looks fine. We can just seal and coat it there. But like this section, definitely we need to excavate and patch just to fix the unevenness here. So I would suggest 20 by 20 patch here, I mean, this can stay because it seems that they ran utilities and the patch here to fill the trench. That you can still show the seams and the separation, but we can leave it like this since it doesn't cause any problems, unless you are more inclined aesthetically to make this look nice and you don't want to see the seams. Then we can now obviously grind this down and just overlay it. But again, if you don't care much about aesthetics and just want to get the best return on your investment without spending too much money, then we can just leave this as is, just filling the seams here, the cracks. If we leave these opens as they are right now, they're unsealed, so this causes water to go underneath, which is bad. When water goes underneath, you start to develop this light alligator cracking. If you let it sit like this over the years, it's going to start becoming like this. So that's why cracks are not good to have on your pavement. Like this surface, I would describe this surface as oxidized. It's oxidized, but there's no major cracks or structural failure. So this pavement is foundationally in great condition because there's no unevenness, there's no major structural failures or issues. It's just superficial. As you can see, the aggregate is starting to show. It's starting to get pitted and coarse. And this is mainly because it's the erosion due to weathering, rain, and then the baking of the sun in the summer. It causes the top to be worn out. So that's why it starts to become faded and looks grayish, and that's why it looks like in this condition. But if you maintain it, you can get a lot more life for this pavement because what the coating protection does, the seal coating, or there's slurry sealing, there's many names that they go. Sometimes they call it the wrong names. Like technically slurry seal, it's a different type of product for like roads and such. But usually for parking lots, it's just sealer or seal coating. Here in the Bay Area, most of contractors use the same product called Overcoat, which is something only available to contractors. It's a really commercial and strong product to keep your properties pretty much weatherproofed, watertight, and sealed. So yeah, that's what I would recommend here. Just basic seal coating. There's no major cracks. So this pavement, it's in great condition. It's just been neglected. So seal and coating is highly recommended. You replenish by sealing and coating. What you do is you seal the top surface and replenish everything that has been eroded through weather, erosion, and worn out to traffic and so forth. So that's what I would recommend here. And yeah, but other than that, vehicles starting to come in, so I'm just gonna pull aside here. So this is what we have here, and yeah, so this is basically what I would recommend here in the entrance. A patch there, a 20 by 20 there, a patch behind the truck, 20 by 20 as well, filling all these cracks. This, if we want to keep the cost low, I would probably skip this, maybe just leave it sealing and coating. But if there's a bigger budget and we just want to do it right, then I would just also suggest a 10 by 10 patch here, just to get out those superficial or starting to get deeper alligator cracks. But yeah, walking through the parking lot, here we have more. Like this is darker, that's lighter, that's a little bit of overcoat material, still intact, probably because the shade of the tree here prevents the coating protector, keeps it safe from the sun and from being baked. And also, if there's not a lot of traffic here, it doesn't get worn out as much. But over here it's lighter color because it's starting to get faded. But here again, we see more alligator cracking. This is really, really bad. It's only gonna get worse year after year. It's gonna start to settle, then eventually you're gonna have like a dip there, like a little canal or a trench. And this is gonna start holding, it already holds water. You can tell water starts to hold in there, and it's only gonna get worse and worse. There's more roots problems there that I would suggest. Over there we have a little bit of alligator cracking towards that side, and here just a crack we can easily repair here, and more problems. This looks in great condition. Over on this side, no major problems here. A little bit of problems here. A little bit of problems here. Starting to get to the base. This is kind of getting bad. Again, I would suggest to minimize cost, maybe just this area, 20 by 20 patch, and then possibly another one over there. But if this because this seems to be needing a lot more work now, if it's only minor, then minor patches here and there would be fine. But because I see a lot more damage here, at this point I would recommend just milling and grinding the top 2 inches, and yeah, just laying it back again. And then after that, I would probably do this whole center area and that whole center area, and maybe a little bit behind the truck. And this way we prevent the cost from going up and climbing. So that's what I would recommend here. Milling the top 2 inches, and that way we can get more work done with the same budget by just milling the top 2 inches or 1.5 inches. And yeah, if we were to do the excavating all the way to the base, yeah, it would correct the base and foundational issues and make uneven areas more even. But it's going to increase the cost, and yeah, so here, like this area, also a little bit of unevenness here, and all this, you can see the light cracks on top of it. Yeah, so I would prepare a proposal that, you know, serves the owner's goals, basically what they want to do, because I can come up with the proposals, you know, day in and day out, and with all kinds of budgets, but it comes down to what are the goals of the owner or the property manager here. You know, whatever their goals are, I can help them with their goals. If I can go all out and fancy and just replace the whole thing, and I'll fix everything all at once. But again, are we looking to spend that much money? You know, for some customers, some property owners or managers, they're all for it. You know, we have the budget, we want to spend it, we want to have a clean parking lot, a safe parking lot, let's do it. You know, but not everyone thinks like that. There can be other perspectives, other owners. Maybe they're just renting or leasing it, and they're like, hey, I only want to do as minimal as possible to prevent, you know, tripping hazards and liabilities, and yeah, I don't want to spend too much. So then I would tailor a proposal based on those goals, on those needs. You know, I would minimize the cost on the project and just do as little as possible, and maybe skipping a few recommended patches here and there, and just doing basic sealing and coating, and just to get a little bit more years out of the pavement without investing too much. There's sometimes I get a lot of owners and property owners that they basically just want to sell it or flip it, and the same thing, they either just want to do as little as possible just so it looks good and well taken care of, and then they're just gonna sell it and leave the foundational problems to the new owner, or they might want to do a perfectly great job and do everything from scratch, you know. But yeah, we're here in Palo Alto here doing a little video for you. I want to go ahead and upload this later today to show you, so hopefully it helps you. And yeah, the minimal I would do is just seal coat everything really cheap. It's probably what, $5 grand, $6 grand or so, but it doesn't fix anything structural, but at least it will get you more years out of your pavement. And something mid-size, I would probably grind and overlay, you know, the damaged areas, which I think is like 50% of the whole parking lot. So let's say the whole parking lot is 40,000 square feet. I would propose we only, you know, grind and overlay 50% of it. So I would quote for 50% of grind and overlay, 2 inches or 1.5 inches, grinding overlay, and then the whole sealing coating, including the new overlay and the existing. That would be something in the happy medium. Doesn't spend too much, but also it's a good improvement on the parking lot. Or if we have a bigger budget, I can offer a third solution, the crazy one. Hey, I want a full brand new from scratch, a new parking lot, let's do it all so we can fix everything at once. I only want to spend money once and have a pavement for many years without any problems. So if that were to be the case, then I would offer the third solution with it. For example, it will be the highest price package, but with the longest guarantee, and the biggest investment, but it would fix everything for many, many more years to come. So as you can see, that's why price varies from contractor to contractor, because it depends how we tailor the proposals to you and the pricing. So there's contractors that ask you questions, ask you your goals, see what you want to accomplish, and they prepare something for you based on that. And there's others that they just assume, and that's why there's a hit and miss. There's a miscommunication or lack of clear communication, and that's why you start comparing bids. Instead of comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, you start comparing apples to oranges and oranges to apples, and you get confused. Why are these bids so different, price ranges and so forth. So as you can see right now, I'm actually standing here in ADA stall area. This needs to be restriped because it's not properly striped. There's double symbols there that seem confusing. I don't know if they have any van accessible stalls. Like this area needs to be less than 2% in any direction. I don't know if it looks a little bit in excess. The tripping hazard here. But yeah, heading out back again to the truck, showing you this. A little bit of root problems there, a little bit of alligator packing over there. So we're here in Palo Alto on middle field, and we're getting back to the spaceship. So there you go. So here's your friend. This is Fred again here. This is your friend again here. So as you can see, we got back into the truck and we're ready to go. We're heading out to a different area, and yeah, I'll be uploading this video for you, and more to come in the future. Hopefully these are useful for you, and then yeah, if you have any questions on your property, give me a call. I'll be glad to come over, give you either an in-person or a virtual pricing, so help you set up your budgets, and yeah, help you with your project. So this is Fred signing off. Talk to you again.